Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment, and welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss the conversation, but most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there. There's a community where we can talk about all the nerdy, dorky, geeky things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at A Few Dollars More, the sequel to A Fistful of Dollars in the Man with No Name trilogy. So, this movie is not as good as Fistful of Dollars. It's enjoyable, but to me, it is a cohesive plot. The cohesion is so small to make the plot work. It works, but just barely. And let me tell you what the plot is to let you know what I'm talking about. So it starts out with this one bounty killer. They don't call them bounty hunters, they're bounty killers. He collects a bounty and he finds his next mark. This is Colonel Mortimer. Fortunately, I'm not familiar with the actor. I'll put it up in post. Then we're introduced to Clint Eastwood. This time he's called Manco, which I looked up. In Italian it means maimed. And I think it was released Manco in Italy. There's like three stories going on that kind of merge together in the beginning. That's like the first third, getting everything set up. The third part of this story is this gang that are bank robbers and they want to hit a bank in El Paso. And the way all of them come together is Manco and the Colonel both learn about this bounty on El Indio, the leader of the gang. And El Indio gets introduced to us through a prison break. And shortly after his prison break, there's a pretty dark way to just to show how evil he is. Apparently, I guess a partner of his gave him up and that's why he was in prison. Well, this partner has a wife and child, and Indio is extremely evil. He kills all three of them. So very easy setup, like you hate this person. After that, he tells his gang the plan to rob this bank. Meanwhile, wrong restaurant. Manco and Colonel, they go to El Paso, but they don't know each other yet. They're both staking out the area, and at one point, both of them are using, Manco's using binoculars, and the Colonel's using a telescope. Manco notices Colonel first looking at the town through the telescope, and then the Colonel notices he's being watched, and he decides that he'll make a proposition to the Wanderer. They team up, and they split the bounty 50-50 because Indio is worth 10,000 by himself. The rest of the gang totaled up is 10,000. Manco will get the leader and the Colonel get the gang. The Colonel devises a plan that Manco will go undercover into the gang and they can attack them from both sides, catching them off guard. While this is going on, when it occasionally goes back to the gang, it shows that Indio has a flashback. He had a lover and he catches her with another man. He kills the other man. Just like the one thread they put in there. And they mention it again towards the end of the movie. And I thought the bank heist was going to be like the big part of the movie. The bank heist happens about halfway through. And then the two bounty killers get captured. And then they get released because Indio's like, well, we can keep most of the money and we make it look like they stole the money. But the two bounty killers are too smart for that. I guess it's a twist. I won't give the twist away, but it's like, really? This is what it's all been leading up to? Because, yeah, the breadcrumbs are there, but this story wasn't told well enough for you to come to this natural conclusion. For A Few Dollars More is vastly different from Fistful of Dollars. Yes, it still has the main character played by Clint Eastwood, and he's the man with no name. But in Fistful of Dollars, he was just a wanderer who felt like doing the right thing for this town. And now For A Few Dollars More, he's a bounty killer. I guess he's still a wanderer, but he's actually in it for the money. Instead of in Fistful of Dollars, he says, I only take money that I think is owed to me. And I take it just enough for me to get by. And this one is, he walks away with a ton of money. It seems like a disconnect from the character from the first movie. I don't know if the whole production company had in mind a actual 3 movies that were one story. It could be just taking the same character and putting them in different scenarios. I haven't seen Good, Bad, and the Ugly yet, but you could even say that that Joe from Fistful of Dollars and Monko are two completely different characters. They just happen to be played by the same person and look the same. If you're gonna say this is a trilogy, the stories don't add up. And I'm not familiar with movie trilogies back then. What are the anthologies? Is that the term where they use the same character but the stories are always different? This is like an anthology instead of like a proper like 3-story story. And that's okay. It's just I wasn't expecting like something completely different from Fistful of Dollars. After watching for a few dollars more, I wouldn't get it on Blu-ray. The DVDs collector set I have of the Man with No Name series, that's good. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on For a Few Dollars More. Next week is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm looking forward to it. I am enjoying these. We'll just say so far the second movie is the weakest of the three. If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and live your imagination.